Well, hello. Thank you for clicking on the link so that way you can enjoy today's video. But if you would permit me, I'm just gonna try and make myself some tea here. By the way, I hope that you have read today's passage. It is Revelation chapter 14. So hopefully you did have a chance to read it, and hopefully you are sticking with your fasting and just seeking the Lord. I've been thinking about that this week, so pray for me. I was this Sunday, we're kind of like the midway mark, and so I just really wanted to kind of encourage the people in that vein. So pray that the Lord give me a right word for Sunday. So I figured I'll make myself some tea because I have this really special teas. Now this is not an appeal for tea. I'm full. I'm satisfied. I have more than enough. But it's just me trying to tell you. So I've got these like actual English teas, and the afternoon tea, the morning tea, and the Earl Grey or something like that. Anywho, so why am I doing this? Because some people have started their videos with drinking water. Others have started their videos with eating popcorn. So I figured maybe there's a food trend going on. So yeah, I figured I might as well just join in with my special tea live and direct from London, England. So anywho, I thought that was kind of funny. Well, let's get right to it. Today we are talking about Revelation chapter 14. And I actually I'm going to emphasize on verse 12. That's the passage that really stood out to me. This means that God's holy people must endure persecution, patiently obeying his commands and maintaining their faith in Jesus. That's tough. It's not my favorite part to read in this verse, in this chapter. But nonetheless, it is there. But it brings to mind a couple of thoughts that I figured I would share with you. And you've heard me say this before. It's this whole idea that sometimes people believe that becoming a Christian is magic, right? It's like waving a magic wand and everything will change. Sometimes when I listen to some preachers, even I feel like I get the impression that Christianity is like, if I have a magic wand and I wave it all over the hardships of life, and my problems will go away because I've accepted Christ. That's wrong. Christianity is not an immediate fix to life's problems. Christianity does not promise to Christians an easy life. As a matter of fact, even the founder, the master architect of Christianity, Jesus Christ, tells us in the Gospel of John, John chapter 16, verse 33, if I'm not mistaken, he says that in this life you will have troubles. And so, or in this life, or I think some version says in this world, you will have trouble. So if we are promised trouble, we don't get no free pass, right? This is Jesus saying that. I don't get a free pass to avoid the hard times. Here's what I'm thinking. Why should I choose Christianity? Just me, you probably don't think that, but why should I choose Christianity if I'm going to have hard times anyhow? Because the reality of it, we have a choice every day. Okay, every day we get to do things the easy way, or we get to do things God's way. That's really the choice that we get to make. In other words, we get to decide, am I going to obey God's commands and remain faithful to Jesus? And if I choose to do that, that's going to require patient endurance, as the passage says. But the reward is worth the work. Every day I have to make a choice to endure, and the reward is worth the work. For example, it says this means God's holy people must endure persecution patiently, obeying his commands and maintaining their faith in Jesus Christ. And that's the choice we get to make. But can I tell you, the rewards are worth the work. So even though we aren't promised a life of ease, a life of comfort as Christians, we are promised a life of hope. We are promised a life of grace. We are promised a life of mercy. We are promised unconditional love from a God who will never forsake us. And that's why it's worth choosing Jesus Christ. We are promised a life of hope and grace and mercy, and we are promised unconditional love from a God who will never forsake us. We are promised, when we choose Christ every day, we are promised that even in our toughest times, even in the toughest situations, God is with us. And what is he doing with him being with us? He's guiding us and teaching us and protecting us. Listen, God is able to use even the toughest situations in your life right now for his glory and for your good. But I'm glad that the passage that I referenced earlier on, let me just check it up just to make sure that I'm not wrong. Because I think it's John 16, because what I'm about to say, I think it's found in there. There's a part, I don't know if it goes into 34. But let me look at that. Whilst I do that, I'll take a sip from my Godfather cup. Here's what he says. I've told you all this so that you may have peace in me. But here on earth you will have many trials and sorrows. This is the NLT version. But take heart, because I've overcome the world. Beautiful words. Even though we're going to face troubles, even though Christianity is not a golden ticket to easy street, it's the only way to true peace and true joy and true contentment. And it's the only way to victory. It's the only way to the grace and the mercy of God. And so, beloved, when I read chapter 14, here's the message. Remain faithful to Jesus. He's the one who has called us. Let's remain faithful to him. And because he has called us, he will help us live fully in the joyful life that he has for us. So yes, Christianity is not magic. And yes, we'll face some trials. And yes, we'll face some struggles. And yes, we'll face some issues. But let's remain faithful to the Lord Jesus. Let's choose him every day. So as we talk about a promise of unconditional love, here is something that's important. As you go through this Christian life, make up a choice. Make up your mind that I'm going to accept Jesus' love for me. Think on this. What's keeping you from living the joyful life that Jesus has planned for you? And in what areas of life are you choosing the easy way over God's way? And when would you realize the easy way doesn't work? It's time to make a change. As we are going through this, and I'm encouraging you to read the Bible, I'm hoping that you're getting into it, because it's not just the prayer and the fasting, it's the word. When we get into the word, as I said, we understand God's language, but we also understand the mind of God, and God also sees us being drawn closer to him. So that's why these devotional times are important, and I'm proud of you, and I commend you for choosing to watch it. But even as you go through, just think on this. Think of the tough times you've had in life. And think of it how you have seen God's protection and God's provision and God's guidance. And this is a good place to give him praise for that. To give him thanks for his guidance and his protection and his provision for you. And you may be facing a situation, but I want you to turn to God now. Give it to the Lord. And ask him, God, take this bad thing that is in my life right now and use it for good. And see what he will do. He's that kind of God. He's faithful, he's dependable, he's reliable, he's trustworthy. Let's choose him every day. Because even though there are going to be challenges in this Christian walk, listen, we win. We will have troubles, but we do overcome. It says, be of good courage. I have overcome. And because he's overcome, we are in him. We too are overcomers. So God bless you with a wonderful rest of the day, and stay on the side of the Lord Jesus. Again, as always, click, comment on the videos, like the videos, and let us know your thoughts. And I will get back to my wonderful tasting English tea. And I hope you have something to enjoy as well. Like a tea or something. I mean, we're still fasting, so don't go all out. But God bless you. Take good care now.